have no money. You can't speak a word of Spanish.
And you have no clue how to get back to Bogota to catch your plane. What are you gonna do?
Lucio, please.
Lucio, before all of this happened...
Oi! Hello everybody, I'm Paris.
Hello, I'm Selina.
Welcome to our channel. We are
Love Uncut. Yay!
So this week we wanted to talk about a recent fitness renaissance that we're going through. Is that the right word?
Definitely for you.
So yeah, definition of renaissance is like a revival, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And you know, this renaissance for me specifically took the shape of couch to 5K.
And for me it's I guess like Afrobeats aerobics.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, Afro aerobics. Is that?
Afrobics.
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
Hey.
so you got it. Yeah, so TM. So yeah,
TM.
trademark.
Oh, okay.
You know, unless somebody else has already trademarked it, of course. So I've always been a person that would try and fit in gym at least 3 times a week. That's
Yeah,
been
and
the
you
case.
did football.
Yeah, and I'd do football once a week with work. And then lockdown happened.
Yeah.
And that just fell off a cliff, if I'm being honest. So in terms of my motivation level, I mean, it was there, but we really didn't know. Take yourself back to 30th of March 2020. We didn't know if this thing was just hanging in the air like a poison gas. We didn't know.
Yeah, how long it would go on for. So I think like, it's not just us, I think a lot of people were just at home and you know, you're just munching away, just snacking away, working from home. Sorry, I'm laughing because I actually work in the kitchen area, so it wasn't even hard for me to snack. It's like, oh, crisps, oh, fruit. And it's like, you're not just snacking on bad stuff, you'd have good stuff too. But obviously you're snacking more and walking less, exercising less. So of course everyone put on a few pounds, shall we say.
Yeah, do the maths. And you know, we can't even diminish how intense that feeling was in March. I feel like you're sounding very light-hearted about how it felt in March, how worried you were, how worried everybody was. Like, that was intense.
Oh yeah.
So we didn't. So you know, a lot of people's just mental health and moods just shifted completely.
Oh yeah, stress eating, 100%.
Well, just all different kind of manifestations. I didn't feel comfortable going outside. You know, I didn't know what was going on. You know,
House was afraid.
yeah, I think I actually quit going gym like a week before the government.
You didn't want to do
closed.
anything. Like 2 weeks before, we were meant to go bongos bingo. We were meant to do all sorts of things.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and I was like, nah, bruv. My spider sense is tinkling. And other people were like, well, I'm gonna see. No offense to other people, because I know you're gonna watch. Love you, but they were like, oh, I'm gonna see, and everybody was on the fence.
Well, I was one
knew.
of those people that I wanted to see. I was like, well, if you're not going, I'm still gonna go. But
yeah.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it was real to people. But so literally for 6 months, I mean, Selina dragged me out to go for walks just because. I guess, I mean, the reason why you like walks is just to clear your mind.
Just not fresh air.
Yeah, not so much exercise. That's not why you go for walks.
I mean, it's kind of a bonus, but for me, I guess, I really enjoy just fresh air and being outside, and I like walking because, as Paris said, it clears my mind. So I'm repeating you, but also it takes you away from like watching TV or just messing about on your phone or laptop or whatever. Like, you're physically outside, you have to move, and like, I think I try and, whenever I go for walks, I always try and spot like 3, I don't know, nice things or cute things. You see a little dog, or you see like, I don't know, a fun window display, or just nature. Like, I like trying to engage my mind as I'm out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like how those dogs, when they go to the park, they do all sorts. They don't plan it. They just find things to do, you know.
Paris defines me as the dog of the relationship, and you're the cat.
I mean, why are you telling him that?
Because I always want to go out and go for walks, and he's happy to just chill at home and be a cat.
Here and there, yeah, there's definitely some. There are some features that definitely fit that, yeah. And you did get antsy when you hadn't, when we hadn't, gone out for our walk,
Yeah.
in a similar way, start chewing furniture. Just imagine Selina.
Come up with my
chewing.
leash.
Yeah, but I wasn't too fussed with going outside for a long time, as I said, up to 6 months. A few times we did go for our walks, a few times, but not that many times. And I did notice there was this trend, especially in the earliest part of the first lockdown in March, April, where people suddenly, who I'd never seen running and walking, were suddenly posting their pictures with their running stuff on and posting that status showing their little red line of how far they've run. Do you remember those? Do you remember seeing those? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How many kilometers, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, so the novelty was clearly there for a lot of people. They were told basically you got to stay in.
Well, it was a way for people to get out, wasn't it? And potentially socialise. Because I think sometimes it's hard, especially if you live on your own. Like, you don't even have anyone to bounce off of, to have a conversation. Even if you're an introvert, like, you do need some sort of social contact, right? To know that, someone cares about you. It's just nice to see a friendly face. So maybe that's why, because people would go for a run or cycle or walk to see other people.
Yeah, that's part of it for sure. And even in the gym, you'll see there are certain guys that just go there just to talk and they're there for hours. So the social element has always been there, the mental health element has always been there, and then the physical is the byproduct. I think people were dressing up the fact that they were following the novelty with, I'm a super fit person. Okay, so where's your red line now then?
That's social media for you,
in October. Where's your red line then, Mr.
Doesn't matter, why are you worried? Let them do their thing now.
Just wondering, innit? That's what I'm trying to say. And I felt like
He'll probably start again when the second lockdown starts.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You can predict people, you can kind of, and
no, hopefully not. Fingers crossed.
Well, maybe people are still doing it, but they chose not to share it. But I kind of look to them like January gym goers. They go ham, they go hard. But I don't think they're going to be there in March. Or you Monday gym goers. Monday's the busiest day for gym. Oh, you're there at the beginning of the week, but where are you on Wednesday?
Where's all this
Friday?
gym judgment coming from? Like,
it's just my lived experience. Let me know if you agree with me. Are those the busiest days? Mondays?
I feel like it's hard to go and to really commit to something. So even if someone goes once a week, I think that's good.
Yeah, it's a waste of time. You have to go at least 3 times. I'm not even saying.
Wow, I mean, it's just battery. Come on now, once a week.
Fully efficient.
And then you can build it up. Maybe some people are just going to maintain and not to become super.
You can't go gym once a week. If you go to gym once a week but you exercise 3 times, so maybe your exercise is different from gym the other 2 times a week. Maybe it's at home, maybe it's walking, fine. But you can't exercise once a week. Simple as that.
Well, I think going once a week is better than not going at all. So that's my perspective. You're entitled to your opinion.
Yes, we are. Yes, you are. Sorry. Yes, we are. We're both entitled to our opinions. So this is me. I'm clearly a fit and active person to an extent. I was decent at athletics at school. I think my little sister was actually much better, more gifted at sprinting. But I was decent. I could come top 10 in the cross country. But yeah, none of my friends that I knew formally would go running until recently. When we moved in together, we met some people that seemed to have a running habit and stuff. I just didn't see the appeal. I didn't see the need. I'm very functional, I think that's what it is. So what happened was, a tipping point happened where I went to play football with my friend, and I was just so unfit, and I just wasn't used to it. I used to be able to.
So to put this into context, this is playing football after months of lockdown, and then he's sort of knackered, whereas usually he'd be all right after playing a game or 2.
Yeah, I just wouldn't feel it to that extent, and it was 6 months, as you say, so obviously that's going to have a massive effect on anybody, no matter who you are. You don't move, and you just still eat, and like you said, the food's just there. I used to do intermittent fasting quite regularly, which is quite an antisocial thing to do at work where everybody eats lunch together, but the point is I did it, and then I stopped because my routine was changing, my environment was changing, I couldn't change it, I couldn't get back into it.
Well,
So
I find it I found it rather much easier to do that at work because food isn't just there in your grasp, whereas at home, working from home, everything is there. And like Paris, I was doing it kind of basically every day, and then lockdown happened, and then didn't do it for quite a few months, and then started again. But as a female doing intermittent fasting, there are kind of more risks than as a male. You can mess up your hormones, you can mess up like your kind of fertility potentially. It's not the same for everybody, so I'm not giving medical advice, but if you are planning to do it as a female, just make sure you read up on it a bit. Like if you do more than 14 hours, it's potentially risky based on what I just mentioned, so just be careful.
I mean, from what I remember, you were still pretty consistent with the fasting.
I was more consistent than you, but the thing is, I think I don't know, I think as a woman, or at least just me, I breathe and I put on weight, so.
Yeah. Are you joking? Wait, my mum. Our fitness journeys prior to lockdown had variety in them. They had a variety of activities that we were doing, and they also had the diet element included in it. And that just fell to pieces. You're gone.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think like you did a lot more proactive exercise, whereas I did a lot of passive exercise. So as I would go for walks, I would walk everywhere. So I'd probably, although to be fair, you'd walk a lot to work too.
Yeah,
So
I chose to
if I went to the gym, it was like doing the treadmill at an incline, whereas like you do a lot more weight stuff and things like that, and
Yeah.
I do like, you know, your standard lunges and squats and all that fun stuff and things to get rid of bingo wings. Anyway.
I don't even know why they're called bingo wings, do you know?
I think it's because older ladies, there's like that whole stereotype of them playing bingo.
It's a bit mean, but then you got
I
dad
don't
bods.
mean it, I didn't come up with it.
I didn't say you came up with it, Selina. I just said it's a bit mean,
It's
but they do
mean.
have the concept of dad bods.
Or man
so-
boobs.
But dad bods are seen as a positive thing actually. But anyway, that's another story for another time. So yeah, I played football and then I was just so unfit. And then you know what? I needed my functional fitness back. I just looked and I asked the fittest person I know. His name's Parv. I think he's the fittest person I know in terms of working out, not attractiveness. But you know, he's attractive though. But sure. And yeah, he just said, "Oh, you know what? Try this Couch to 5K app." He hasn't done it, but it's really popular. And I was like, Couch to 5K, what the heck is that? But I trust him, you know, because he knows what he's doing fitness-wise. So I downloaded it, and yeah, my understanding is that it just eases you into running. It takes people from the couch as beginner runners into running 5,000 kilometers, which is some sort of, well, it is a benchmark of running. I think it starts at 5K.
I think it's because some marathons, a lot of marathons are 5K, aren't they?
Must be short as heck, but yes, there's so many
Yes.
Couch to 5K videos on YouTube and people's experiences. I mean, I would say for anybody looking to try the Couch to 5K, maybe don't take in too many other people's experiences. Keep your mind blank. Don't have any expectations in your mind. You know, the less you have, the better, because I've realized from running that it's very mental. It's more mental than it is physical. And you know, the very first session, I think you're running for 60 seconds, walking for 90 seconds for the whole 30 minutes as intervals. And as you're running, there's a voice in your head that just says, stop running. Why are you putting yourself through it? But you can actually do it. So it's just that disconnect between your mind and your body that you're overcoming. And then when you finish your run, pretty soon into like maybe week 1, week 2 even, I just felt good. So once you fight that battle between your mind and your body and you win, it's like some sort of endorphins come over you, and that's something for free. You don't have a hangover after it. So yeah, you know, thumbs up for that. I would say that, you know, in terms of Couch to 5K or running in general, it's not going to make you lose weight by itself. You do have to combine it with lifestyle choices, so diet, getting good sleep, being consistent, I think Couch to 5K is 3 times a week. So you do all of that, and then you'll definitely get results. But the one thing that is guaranteed though from the very beginning is that you will get this kind of uplifting feeling. And I know that running's been used as a cure for, or sorry, running's been used as a way to combat depression and anxiety. And really, seriously, I didn't know about it until I did it. But yeah, you definitely feel good. So
it's that sense of achievement, I think, that comes from it. But yeah, also exercise definitely gives you endorphins, and again, it's like you're out, well, most of the time you're out, sometimes you run indoors, but like fresh air, that's always really good for your body and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so as I say, as early as week 1, week 2, you're gonna get that positive mental element, and then if you can slowly ease yourself into a healthier lifestyle, then you're going to get even more benefits. I think also another positive from that is like having some sort of sense of routine. Like you said, 3 times a week, you're building up that kind of commitment, which is always really good. It's really hard for some people to establish a habit. I think it's like what it takes
21 days?
Yeah, 21 days to make a habit and like 1 day to break it or something. So once you've done that, I think there is a massive sense of achievement just for sticking to it. So yeah, well done. I definitely am impressed with Paris's commitment. He gets up at like
early,
crack of dawn when I'm still a log in bed.
100% log.
I just become a starfish by the time he's come back. But yeah, it's really, it's inspiring to see, and kind of seeing how committed he is in turn makes me want to do better. I mean, I don't run. I have done the run with you maybe once or twice, but I kind of freestyle. I don't like an app telling me what to do. I guess that works better for me to try and push myself how I want to push myself. But it's definitely mental, because it's like as you're doing it, you're like, come on, you can do it. 1 more minute, you can do it. Whereas I guess with the app is kind of saying that to you. It's not you saying it to yourself, is it?
It will tell you, it will interject here and there.
Yeah.
It's not there in your ear like, come on, go for the whole time. No way.
Do it!
Yeah, it rings a bell like when you're halfway through your session, and
Okay.
it gives you like running tips maybe once in the whole run. So, I mean, at this point I'm running like 25 minutes, non-stop, and he maybe talks twice.
Okay.
So
it just lets you get on with
It's you and
it
your
then.
music. It's you and your music. So
Yeah.
yeah, check out the app. And what I wanted to say as well, so what I did, I mean, again, I was an amateur runner. I didn't know anything about running. I mean, I could basically run, but there's techniques and stuff, and I know people,
different types of shoes, different types of
gear.
Like what it's called?
Yeah, gait.
Yeah.
GAIT. Sorry about that. Battery died, didn't it? What were you saying?
Gait.
Gait, yeah. So basically my manager is really hot on running, and I said, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna tackle my fitness goals aggressively. I'm gonna be fitter than I ever was, damn it. And then he said, all right, go into this shop in town, and basically you go to the running shop and they assess your running style. They do a little video and they decide whether you've got a neutral gait, so you're just straight on and slightly to the left, slightly to the right. This will help reduce the chance of injuries, because I know a lot of people that have run and gotten injuries. When I really started paying attention to it, I realised, oh yeah, that person was posting on Instagram, they're injured. Your brother said he got a slight injury and stuff. So it's a lot of people, out of the people I know that run, most of them, have gotten it. So it's all about
hard on your body, isn't it? Because you're like, it's like flat on the floor, pressure.
Yeah, exactly. There's shocks.
I don't actually run like that, guys. But
Yeah, like a march kind of thing, but definitely the outside is harsher on your body, but it's also more effective running. So maybe balance it, with treadmill. But yeah, so they assessed my gait, and here's the thing. Yeah, I was gonna just go online and look at some deals, because my manager showed me some trainers that you could get online. I was thinking, well, yeah, oh cool, that's good. But then when I went in there physically, the shop guy showed me some trainers, which I kind of expected, and I know that some of these running trainers are really expensive, so I was expecting him to kind of...
I was shocked at how expensive they were when we went to that shop.
Yeah, so anyway, here's the thing. So we tried the shoes on, and guess what? Like, I was basically 2 sizes bigger than my trainer size in running shoes.
What is it with men and shoe sizes?
No, but my point is, I was 2 sizes bigger. I would never have figured that out if I just ordered online what I normally get.
True.
So watch out for that. I don't know if that's going to happen to you. I don't know if that's kind of hit me from nowhere. So yeah, I got that size in the end. I actually left the shop without buying, but then it was like 2 minutes before closing, and I just did a U-turn. I was like, you know what?
I told you to go.
No,
no.
just no. Let's just no. No, I wish we could look at a crystal ball.
Credit.
No, because you were just passive, but you're trying to claim
I was
victory.
not passive. I said, let's go now then. It's going to shut up. Probably in
it
that
was
tone.
me. Yeah, exactly. Probably, you know, these biases and memories, I'm just not really with it. But anyway, so you are encouraging in general, but not in that situation. So, anyway, point is, I U-turned, and you know what, the guy gave me a discount as well.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, so, you know, I never get discounts for anything. So that was nice. So I just wanted to start my journey, you know, the next day. I didn't want to delay it with within 3 to 5 days delivery online. So it worked out, and yeah, I've been running ever since. So guys, I'm currently on week 7 of Couch to 5K. There's actually 9 weeks involved. Yeah, so almost there. I'm going to keep it up. And you know what I did? I got a Fitbit as well. It's not actually a Fitbit, but it's an equivalent I got from Amazon.
Fitbit's cousin.
Yeah, it's Fitbit. It's Sitbit. Cousin
Kitbit.
Yeah, BitFit. You know, back in the day, if you were to go into school and like, that's not a Fitbit, bro. That's not a Fitbit. You know what people will be like, but listen, it does the job. And Amazon.
To be fair, you've not charged it for about 2 weeks, and it's still going.
Yeah, it's
so
coming
it's better than my phone.
It's coming up to 2 weeks, yes. And when you separate out phones from computers, from watches, you know, the battery life is amazing. But when you have it all in one smartphone, it's, you know, is what it is. So the reason why I got a Fitbit is not necessary for you to run, by the way.
Of course it's not. You can still use your body without having a watch on your body.
Exactly. But if you get to a point where, say, you've clocked the Couch to 5K and you want to know what's next, well, what's next is trying to beat your time that it takes you to get to 5K, because Couch to 5K does not time you. It's just about you non-stop moving essentially for 30 minutes in the end. So if you want to keep getting fitter, then you're going to have to try and go faster, and then the way that you can go faster is by logging you know, your time on a Fitbit, which logs by itself. Without the Fitbit, I wouldn't have known that I was in what zone I was in, and whilst I could actually run harder and go into that anaerobic zone, really I needed to be in the aerobic zone. So what I did, I slowed myself down. I still completed the run I needed to complete, but it's more effective for my goals. So it worked, you know. And you don't have to go to no expensive shoe shop, I have to say. You don't have to get no Fitbit. You know, you can just, Selina doesn't have expensive running shoes.
Yeah,
or
Paris's
so it works.
workout regime is a lot more high maintenance than mine. I basically, actually, are you done talking about yours before going to mine?
Yeah, this is one other thing that I wanted to add as well. I mean, at first I used to always bring water with me. As long as you're adequately hydrated, you don't need to bring water with you for the Couch to 5K. You're all good. So it's one less bulky thing that you have to carry. So continue, sorry. Yeah.
That's all right. No, I think that's a good shout, because I was always under the impression you need to have water. But actually, like, I think from the first run we did together when I was like dying to, you know, the next few, I didn't actually drink water until after the run, whereas previously I was doing it within the run, if that makes, or during the run. So yeah, I think you're right. It's kind of, it's definitely mental, but it's also like reassuring yourself you'll be okay. You're not gonna like dry up along the way if you don't have water. My kind of workout regime is a lot less like, I don't know, I'm not waking up at 6 AM because I just am not a morning person at all. But I have sometimes woken up at like 7:30.
Oh, don't 7 it. It's definitely half 7.
Half seven.
Don't.
All right,
launch them up.
Fun.
Politician.
But what I do is I do like exercises like squats and stuff, and as I said, like there's this thing like this, if you keep doing this I do it in cycles of 200 one way and then 200 the other way, and that's meant to just tone your arms. And then I do this thing on YouTube, or you can buy a subscription with them, with some ladies called KUKUWA Fitness. So basically it's a mum who's like 60, and then her daughter, and then another relative, and they do these routines, and they're basically dance routines to Afrobeat music, old school, new school, and I love it because I love that music, but I love it because I love dance, and they're quite intense. I mean, on YouTube they're free sort of taster sessions from 3 minutes if you're just starting out, through to 5 minutes, through to 15 minutes, through to 45 minutes. They've stopped doing the 45 minutes now because they've actually got a lot of people watching, so they want you to buy the subscription to get the 45 minutes. No, not yet. I'm just recycling all the old ones. But I love it. It makes me feel good. It's a really good workout because you do a lot of HIIT kind of bits of dance. So within 30 seconds, you'll do like a lot of really active kind of animated dance moves, and then you'll have like a calmer session and then more active again in the next 30 seconds. So it's a really good workout. I'm always pouring with sweat afterwards, but kind of like Paris just said, when I first started doing them I was having to drink water throughout the workout, whereas now I barely drink any water until after the end. So I think that shows an improvement in itself, and also just like being less like throughout the workout now.
There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. We all have different starting points.
No, but it just shows that like,
and you will improve.
The more you do it, the kind of less like knackered you are, I suppose.
Yeah, and then you will push the boat out, obviously, because eventually when it gets too easy for you, you're going to have to push the boat out, and you will get to that stage where you're
the 60 minutes or something.
Yeah, or something. Or you can. There's so many different things you can do: running, biking, skipping. The point is, you kind of have to.
Or
sweat.
even just power walking. We did that. Well, I did that the other weekend, and it's lovely doing that in the park when the weather's nice.
Yeah, I mean, just prepare to exert yourself, but not too much. That's the key thing about things like Couch to 5K. It doesn't push you too hard, too fast, too quickly, because that's where injuries and demoralization comes from. But yeah, HIIT is known as, one of the most powerful fitness things that you can do, whether it is dancing or you're doing your burpees or you're doing your push-ups, So I do incorporate a little bit of that as well.
I think you just have to kind of find what works for you. Like, I know I couldn't run 3 times a week because it's just like maybe once a week max. But I just get bored when I'm running. Whereas like dancing, I love it, so I could do it for hours, And if it's music that you like, or it's, an instructor you like, that's also really important, because you don't want to be following an instructor that doesn't explain things properly, or that you can't understand, or that like is irritating, because there's some of them on YouTube, it's like, oh please, you're so annoying, you're so up yourself.
Different cups of tea with different people.
Whereas I really like this KUKUWA Fitness because it's like family based, and it reminds me a little bit of like, just Nigeria, and then you see the woman and she's 60 and she looks fantastic, so that kind of also is like, hey, I want to look like that when I'm 60. So yeah, I really enjoy it. I'll put the link below, give it a go and see how you feel. But one thing that is interesting that I found is, obviously during lockdown, I'll say it, I put on weight, and I'm trying to just get back to what I was before lockdown. But it's interesting because weighing myself, like, it's quite, initially it seemed to drop off fast, and then it's been quite hard to continue with that momentum of losing weight. But then if I do things like I measure myself, then I've clearly lost weight in certain areas, but maybe it's not reflecting in the overall weight thing, because it's like you're building up muscle. I don't know. Look,
okay, so the weight on the scales, and I said this to Selina off camera, but I'll say it to you guys as well, because you may be in a similar situation. The weight on the scale is deceptive. There's all different metrics in terms of fitness and fitness goals, and the weight alone cannot account for that. simple as that.
Yeah.
So don't, I mean, the thing is, you know, really the best thing for you to do is to take pictures, maybe at week 1, week 4, week 8, really, as opposed to like weighing yourself week on week. I know they do that on Weight Watchers, they weigh themselves, I guess, every 2 weeks or something. But,
Something like that, yeah.
you know, we're talking about you improving your mental health. So you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're looking at these unrepresentative numbers within a time scale that's not really representative or fair, and then getting disheartened thinking that you're not doing anything.
No, it's so true. And this is why, like, before any of this, I never used to weigh myself, because I knew, like, as soon as you start getting into that routine of weighing yourself and comparing, I don't know, day by day, week by week, it can really affect how you see yourself or how obsessive you become over eating or exercising, things like that. And I just don't want to put myself in that zone. But I had to weigh myself because I went to the doctors for something, and then I was like, whoa, from the last time I weighed myself, this is a big jump, what's going on? So that's why I was like, okay, this is getting into potentially like a less healthy sort of zone. So let's get back to what we were.
Look, we can always improve. I mean, there's an argument that Selina chucks at me maybe once a week, it feels like, quite a lot basically.
What is this? I'm intrigued.
Which is that, you know, don't get obsessed with fitness, but you know, it depends what your motivation is. Sorry. It depends what your motivation is. You know, being a better version of yourself is being a fitter version of yourself, and if you're pursuing it in a healthy way, it's cool. But there's the other side of things where you push it too far, you get upset. But you know, you got to know yourself, level yourself out. Don't follow fitness people on, you know, on Instagram. You want to compare yourself to.
I think this is the thing.
Look at your own goals.
It's having a realistic view of where you are and where you want to get to, but getting there in a healthy way. I think I'm just quite conscious of it becoming like obsessive, potentially crazy thing, because, you know, read up on a lot of mental health things. Obviously growing up you experience things like, whether it's yourself or your friends having eating disorders, but also just there was an interesting documentary on this that Colin was discussing, sort of the prevalence of eating disorders and all these kind of things, obsession with over exercising in elite sports, in Olympic sports, people who train for that. And it's quite common, but it goes unnoticed because people are obviously doing well, and then it's only when they're a bit older or they look a certain way that it's picked up on, and the damage to the body's already done. So that's why I'm just very conscious of it. I'm not like, that's clearly not the space you're in, but it's just like, once you're in that space, it's quite hard to get out of it. So
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you know, as I say, mental health is a key proponent of anybody's fitness journey, and the main thing is you want it to be something that you can sustain really forever. Hopefully, you know, you can sustain, which means it has to be little and often. It means it has to be healthy, because you don't want it to break you down at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a uplifting
and it
thing,
is,
right? Yeah.
And as I say, from your very first run, even at 60-second intervals and stuff, you're probably going to feel it, like that benefit, and that's what gets some people addicted, and they run too much and they injure themselves. So you know, so you have to control it, and you know, whether you're going up a slope or down a slope, try and keep that pace the same, because little twinges can happen.
Going up is always a battle. But even going down, because you feel it in your knees, what I find.
No, everybody, no, I mean, it's without question, you know, there's limits to everything, but you know, nobody's going to look after your physical health like you can and will, and the same thing with your mental health. You know, we need interventions in ourselves, and running is a good way of combining both things, or exercise in general, sorry, shall I say. It's
like me time, isn't it? Because it's just you and
self-development.
Yourself, yeah.
Yeah, so there's one more thing, maybe, I don't know if this is a bonus part, but in terms of like running, like, you know, running, what did I see in the park sort of thing? I didn't really see many other people, maybe because it's winter, and I kind of felt like, in a way, I'm privileged as a guy that can go out of the house and not feel as afraid as like a woman would, you know what I'm saying, when it's
running
dark
in the dark. Yeah,
and I didn't see many women except for when it got to like 7 a.m. Then, you know, more could come out, and that's a privilege that I was thinking about. And then I did see an old man in the park feeding some pigeons, and he was kind of scared at first, not gonna lie, but I think he's okay. He's seen me 3 times now, and you know, he didn't call the police, but that's another privilege, you know. God rest his soul, Ahmad Aubrey. He was just running, enjoying how good it feels, and somebody, because he didn't acquiesce, because he didn't explain himself the way this person wanted to, they took his life. So yeah, it's a real privilege, and I'm, you know, while I'm running, I'm just reflecting on things, noticing things, and you know, I think it's a privilege to be alive, and yeah, just to keep improving every day. Really, exercise is part of that journey. So yeah, we're going to keep this up. And I don't know if you've noticed, you know, I'm looking a little bit more trim, or Selina's looking a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, like even from the neck muscle.
That's a question.
Can you see, you know, something's gone down? But you know, that's not really my aim anyway. It's all about cardiovascular. Everything else is like a bonus. But I think I'm losing about £1 a week at the moment, if you guys want to know. But again, that's not just from running, that's a combination of eating. I fast 19 hours, that's intermittent fasting, and that's like 3 or 4 or 5 days a week.
Yeah, I do 14 to 16, I can't do 19.
Well, you can physically, I mean, well, scientifically it's saying don't bother, so yeah, it's not a competition
I'd
anyway.
just also be a like grump the whole, like, you wouldn't even, I couldn't speak, I would just snap, I'd be so hungry. But anyway, I literally would though.
Yeah, and you know yourself, and we all get angry, to be fair. And you know, I had to get back onto that fasting thing as well, because I hadn't done it for 6 months, you know. But yeah, that's another story for another time. So watch this space. Hopefully I'll be coming back soon to say it's been completed, and you know,
well, from what you said, it's never going to be completed. You're just going to keep pushing harder and harder and faster and longer and longer forever. No?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's quite a corny catchphrase, but it is. That there is no finish line. That's the truth. It's a lifestyle. Is that even worse? Is that even cornier? I struck you down for being corny, then I matched your corny and added
surpassed the corny
barometer.
Yeah.
Cornometer. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it moving, people. That's all you gotta do, especially during these lockdown times.
No pun intended.
Yeah, your physical and mental health is at threat, so keep taking your vitamin D, try and get active, force that into your day if you can.
Listen to Dr. Paris.
Actually, fit that. I don't like to say force. Fit it into your day, smooth it in.
Right, before we go off on any more tangents.
So yeah, I mean, anything else you want to add at this point, Selina?
No, I think, you know, slow and steady, build up, that's the best thing to do. Try and find something that you enjoy so you stick at. I think that's also really important. And yeah, just be mindful of what you're eating. It's hard. Look, I love crisps. It's very hard, but you know, eat an apple instead of a bag of crisps. You know, it'll help, I think. Yeah. You can have your crisps on the weekend. That's what I do.
Yeah, treat yourself. You know, all things in balance.
Yeah,
and yeah,
you need to have treats, otherwise life is miserable. But maybe just not everyday treats.
Yeah, food is, exactly. Food's part of the joy of life, so you know, you got to enjoy it. So yeah, that's us. You know, fit Paris and fit Selina.
Getting there, not quite, but getting. Maybe you are, I'm not.
Well, you're fit, you know. So yeah, alright people, so we will be back next week at 6 o'clock. Okay, be there or be square. Thank you for watching us, especially those who made it to the end.
Yes.
Lots of love, alright.
Lots of love for you guys.
We'll see you guys soon. Take care then.
Thanks for watching. Bye.